Okay, everybody's in mute. Whoever wants to speak, I would appreciate if you can raise a hand. You can find the little choice of hand in the reactions at the bottom of the screen. So there you'll find the little hand, and you can raise a little hand, and we'll open the microphone so you can speak. Otherwise, it's going to be a little difficult to listen and to allow people to speak. And then, of course, we'll give the right to speak to everybody who would like to speak. Oh, there's a heart. Okay, thank you. I guess we're doing the right thing. Okay, I think we can start. Let's see if Tami's here. Let's see if Tami's here. I don't see Tami. Just 1 second. I'll ask Tami to. Tami's here. Tami's here. Tami's here. Okay.
Yes, I'm here.
So you're here, and also Hava is here. Here's Hava. Where's Hava? Hava, can you turn on your camera so I can see you? Hava Tepperberg. There is Hava. Okay. Okay. All right. So let's start. Good evening, everybody. We're happy to see that you got the message and everybody's joining tonight. And I think it's important that you hear things. What's the plan for Emek Refaim, for the area around it? It's a very good opportunity to be informed of how things gonna look like, so you can prepare yourselves. It's very important. And also understand that some people from last night's meeting also joining tonight, because yesterday it was a little noisy. So tonight we'll try to make it not so noisy, so that everybody speaks and people don't just leave because they're fed up from all the noise. So first of all, for those who don't know me, my name is Elias Messina. I am the מתכנן אורבני is the urban planner of גינות העיר. Together with Chava Tepperberg, we are following the development of the plan of the train, the light rail in Emek Refaim, for about 2 years now. Chava will also say a few things. In general, the Minhal is involved throughout the planning period, trying to influence the plan, to make the plans better for the community, for the street, for the neighborhood. Some things we managed to succeed, some things less. It's important to understand that there are many different partners in the decision making and in the planning of the work and the buses and all the other aspects of the changes that will take place. And that is, of course, the municipality, even the Ministry of Transportation, the planners, and then the project managers, the company that will oversee the works, and that's Moria. And then once the buses needs to start running, then you have, of course, Misada Tachbura, that is the transportation ministry, the police, they also have to approve, and the company that will run the buses, they will also have to approve. So not everything that the community, the Minhal is asking for the planners to do is approved, because there are many more people on the line that have to give their approval. So it's very complicated, and it's sometimes very frustrating, but we try to do the best we can to make the plan as good as possible in the given circumstances. Now, we have, before I give to Hava to also say a few things, tonight with us is Tami Zadok. Tami is the community representative in the תוכנית לתחבורה, the master planning for transportation, which is it's a company, a planning company, non-profit company that is overseeing the planning of the train. They're working with us very closely. They're very attentive. They're trying to really respond to our requests and the changes that we request. And Tami will present the bus lines that will change. And before that, I will present the changes in Emek Refaim, so you understand, first of all, what changes on Emek Refaim, and then you understand why the buses also need to change. So let's start with Chava first. Chava, would you like to say something? And I see Monique wants to say something. If it's not something urgent, please, can we ask to record? Do we want to record the evening? Chava, what do you think? Wait. I can't hear you. 1 second. Maybe it's a problem in my side. One second.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you now. Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm having problems with my computer, so I'm on my phone. All I want to say is that we've been working, a fairly large group of people, with the planners and with as many residents, as many neighbors that we could reach, and have participate in the planning, very long planning process. As Elias said, we couldn't get everything we wanted, and what we really need from you is reactions. As many ideas or questions or criticism, whatever you have, please just write to us in WhatsApp or mail as shortly and concisely as you can. But we use all that material in our dealings with the city and with the planners and builders. Other than that, just take a look at the plan. For us, it's not completely final because there are things that we are still fighting for, but we think it's very important to show you whatever we have now, even if we're not 100% happy with it. That's it. That's all I have to say.
Okay, thank you, Chava. Okay, Tami, I will ask you to speak after I show the closing of Emek Refaim, so people understand the change that happened in Emek Refaim, and then you can speak about the buses. Okay? Is that okay? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you hear me?
Thank you, and thank you.
Just, Elias, I will really appreciate if you can make me a co-host so I can mute and
yes.
unmute.
Okay, sorry. Yes.
Okay, so it will be much more convenient for me. Thanks.
I also
I will wait until.
Chava, and I'll also do Tami. Okay. Yes. Yes.
Excellent,
okay.
thanks.
You have it.
So
yes,
whenever you want me to present the changes of the bus lines, I'm ready. Okay.
Yes. I will start with the big changes, and then I will speak about. Then you'll speak about the buses in more particular. Okay, let's start. And then we'll also start the recording, so that we have the presentations for everybody to watch. Okay, so now we are recording in progress, and we'll start with the presentation of the changes that will take place in Emek Refaim, and that will give you an idea of how the street will change, and then you understand why the buses will also need to change the bus routes, which is what Tami will show us. Okay. This is the conditions today. Emek Refaim is an open street going north and south. It has two lanes, one going north and one going south. It's a main axis in the neighborhood of the Moshavot, the German and the Greek, and it's connecting really the north and the south part of the city. Once the work starts, the traffic situation in Emek Refaim changes. The main change is that the southbound traffic will stop in Rachel Imenu. So somebody coming in from David HaMelech, Gan HaPa'amon, will only be able to go up to Rachel Imenu and not further south. For those who go north, they will only be able to go from Oranim up to Rachel Imenu, and there they'll have to turn. They will not be able to go all the way north to Gan HaPa'amon, city center, etc. All the traffic during the works will be channeled to Emek Refaim, to Rachel Imenu, which means that Rachel Imenu, in effect, will be the continuation of Emek Refaim for the traffic going southwards and northwards. And that's during the period of the works. When the works are finished and the period between the end of the works and the start of the train, there is an additional change. And the change is that around Amelitz and Atzfira, that part of Emek Refaim will be inaccessible. It will be like a midrachot. It will be like a pedestrian area, which means that the traffic will not be able to go all the way south to Rachel Imenu, which means that the traffic will then have to go into Amelitz and the smaller streets and Hildesheimer, etc., to reach Rachel Imenu. There are talks about the intermediate condition of this that may allow the traffic to go through until the train starts to function or shortly before, but this is something that's not verified. We don't have a picture on that, but what we know is that part of the street will be blocked, and that's the red part. And of course, after all the work is finished and all the infrastructure is laid, both the part 1 and 2, and the train starts to function, of course, then the train will connect again Emek Refaim north to south from Talpiot until the city center. Along Emek Refaim, there will be 3 stations for the light rail, one in the area of Rachel Imenu, one in Oranim, and one in Gan HaPa'amon. Now, regarding the works will as far as we know, and probably Tami will confirm, or at least will give us a more accurate picture. From what we know right now is that the works will start around the beginning of July. That's about three weeks from now. We'll know for certain 2 weeks before the work starts, whether they start on that date or not, or it's moved. But that's more or less what we know. What happens once the work starts? First of all, there's a lot of preparation taking place that you've already seen in junctions, in street corners, new bus stops, and other changes that are being made for the buses, for the new routes of the buses, to be able to turn, to be able to stop, to be able for people to wait for the bus, etc. So the work really has started, but this is only the work that is called the peripheral, that is the peripheral works, not actually Emek Refaim, but all the peripheral works, that once this is finished and once the buses run their test drives, and you may see buses that they're out of service that go to routes that you haven't seen before. That will probably happen in the next couple of weeks. So these are the buses that are testing the new routes. And once this is finished, the testing of the routes, and of course the works for the new routes, then the work at Emek Refaim will start, projected around the beginning of July. Now, what happens once this happens? there are several phases. The work is done in phases. And that's because the work is done throughout the entire axis of Emek Refaim and not in sections. The reason for that was so that the work goes faster. The first part of the work is around 1 month of work, and that involves the closing of Emek Refaim, the one lane of Emek Refaim, as you see in the drawing. In the northern part, it will be the right lane, and on the south part, it will be the left lane. That closing will last for about 1 month. It involves probably closing with, iskurit, like, fences, white blank walls. They may have some graphics on them, very similar to what they've closed now around the park area, the Mitchama Tachana, the train station area. Gana Pa'amon is also closed in some parts. So it will look like that. That will last for about a month. After a month, the real work will start. And the real work, it means that that's infra 1, which means infrastructure work 1, where actually the city, through Moria company, is actually renewing all the infrastructure. It's running new lines for waste, new lines for electricity, new lines for water, electricity. Yeah. So that's the work that will be done in the most part of the time. And of course, on the top, at the end, there will be new pavements, new plantings, new fences, lighting, street furniture, etc. So the first main part of the work is now what you see on the screen, and that will last for about 20 months, 19 and a half, 20 months. And that will be on the left side of Emek Refaim, on the north part, and on the right side of Emek Refaim, on the south part. Between Resh Lakish and Oranim, it will actually be on the other side. So it moves, from the right to the left. But this is more or less the closure of the street for about 20 months. Once the 20 months are finished, what you will see is basically the finished pavements and the finished street without the rails. And then the work will actually move on the opposite side. So for about 10 months, the other side of the street will be closed, and that means the whole lane. And that's what you see here on the screen, the right side on the north, the left side on the south, and between Resh Lakish and Oranim, it will be again on the right side. That's about 10 months. At the end, there will be another 2.5 months that will probably close, or I'm not sure exactly how it's going to work, but it's going to be the entire street will be basically doing the finishes for about 2.5 months. And then at the interest time, which is the infrastructure 2 time, which is 18 months, that's when the contractor of the train, the franchisee, will come in and will lay down the tracks, will put up the electricity lines, they will put up the columns, the stations, and everything, the whole infrastructure for the train. And of course, we'll start running the test for the actual train until the train starts to function for the public. The total time for the work is about 3.5 years. And by the end of that time, the train should be working. Now, Tami, would you like to share your screen? Now
Yes,
we will
I will
see
share the screen.
Changes of the public transportation, the buses, the bus line, how they're going to change. So that's what we're going to see now by Tami.
Okay, thank you, Elias. Do you see the screen?
Yes, we can see the screen.
Okay, I apologize that I didn't have time to translate this presentation, so I will just I will just narrate it in English, if you excuse me. So my name is Tami Zadok, and I'm from the Jerusalem Transportation Master Plan team from the Community Relations Unit. Elias asked me to present today the changes of the public transport while the works on Emek Refaim begin. First of all, I apologize. I'm not the public transport planner, so I might not have answers to all of your questions, as I suppose you will have some questions. I will show you the changes. I will not, just to have like coordination of expectations. What I'm doing right now is showing the changes. I will not explain about why we got to those changes and the motives and everything. We had a very, very long and I think fruitful process with the representatives of the Minhal Kehilati. I must tell you that Elias and Chava are excellent representatives. They really had a lot of demands and requests from us. Some of them we tried to do all our best in order to qualify to all of the needs. We didn't succeed to do everything, but I think we have quite a success in most of the things. I think we have a very good plan based on all the גורמים, all of the realistic situation. So I will begin, just a second. Okay, so as Elias explained, basically what happens is Emek Refaim is going to be one direction. You can see with the arrows on the map that it goes southbound from Atachana and northbound from Oranim, which makes it impossible for buses to go all the way like they do it today. So basically, we have two directions for the Ma'akafim, for the detours, or bypasses, actually, I think it's a more appropriate word. So one bypass is towards south, and one is towards north, and we have in the eastern side and in the western side, and I'll show it in this screen. So basically, this is the map of the public transport bypasses. Basically, when we talk about the northbound of the, would say the western area, we're talking about buses that will go on Emek Refaim and go then left to Rachel Imenu, and then some of them I give you. I mean, in the following slides, you will see the route of each and every bus line. But in general, these are the bypasses. So now I will get deeper for each and every line. I just want to show you on this map that we have some new bus stops in the area. Some of them I think most of them already been I think that they were already situated. They already put them. I think in the coming days there are going to be some works to put the stops on Harkevet Street, that they're going to use the minibus line. There is one in Alzheimer's that already been put last week. There are few in Emek Refaim, in Rachel Imenu, that are going to be placed in the beginning of the works, when the work begin. And there were a few in the area of one in Ari, one in Kafted November, actually two in Kafted November. So all of those stops are about or already been placed or will be placed in the coming weeks. So now I want to go, as I said, line by line and to talk about the changes. So I'll begin with, I'm going actually with the numbers, with the numbers. We talk from the lower to the higher. So we begin with number 8. This is a new bus line. It's actually not a bus line, it's a mini bus line. And basically this minibus line, minibus was asked by the representatives of the community center because the main role of this line is first to give service in Rehov HaRakevet, which allow people from the areas that they don't get the service at the north-south towards north, or in the south side towards south. Actually, that goes on El Amodei, to be able to have adjacent stops. And Harakevet is the most adjacent street. However, it's not a street that that a bus could go through. So this is the reason why we needed a smaller bus, a minibus. This line in your area, I'm talking only about the area of Emek Refaim. This bus line actually begins in Talpiot and actually it's kind of a round line. So after it goes on Ben Zakai, it gets into Tzomet Oranim, then it goes on Harakevet, as you can see. It goes all the way on the Harakevet, then on Derech Bet Lechem. It goes to Ezor Gan HaPa'amon, and then it goes up to Keren, actually to King David Street. Then it goes left to Mapo. It goes back to Mapo, and then Keren HaYesod again. And then it goes through, I think it's called Martin Luther King, yes. And then Gretz Rubin. Rubin, actually, it's a new, it's actually, it exists, the road exists, but it's blocked today. It's a dead end, and we're going to open it. This will allow because we change the direction of Dor Vedorshav. Dor Vedorshav now will be from Gedaliahu Alon to Gretz, and Rubin will be the other way, from Gretz to Gedaliahu Alon. So this minibus will go through Rubin, and then Gedaliahu Alon, Hildesheimer, Hildesheimer, and then Atzfira, Rachel Imenu, and it goes down to Chizkiyahu HaMelech, Elazar HaModei, and goes to Ben Zakai, to the other side of the line. So this is the minibus, and this minibus will be very, very helpful when there will be some works that block Emek Refaim. It will happen from time to time. Usually it will be at evening times, and you will be notified before every time that this kind of thing happened, but it will happen, and then the minibus will be able to give service on Emek Refaim, while the other buses will be moved to other lanes, to other routes. Okay, so this is number 8. Now we're going to number 14. Number 14, the major change that we're going to have, that it's not going to pass through Emek Refaim. It's going to go directly from Dustai Chizkiyahu HaMelech one side, and the other one, on the other side, it's going to go through Alamedei, Mechalkei HaMayim, Achish, and Dustai. Today it goes through Misgav Ladach, and then Chizkiyahu HaMelech and Emek Refaim. And Rachel Imenu, it's not going on
Tami,
what you see, the light blue.
Tami,
Yes.
Slicha, can you please put your cursor on the lines as you describe them, so that people can follow, please?
Sure. Okay. So this light blue marker shows the routes that is cancelled. What you see in the dark blue is the route that actually is going to stay today. It's coming from, I will show both sides. It's coming from Chernichovsky, and then it goes on a Palmach, it goes down Kovshei Katamon, and then Lamedhei, Achish, סליחה, it's not Achish, it's מחלקי המים, and then Achish, and then it goes towards Emek Refaim, and from now on it will be a little bit different because it's going to get to Dustai and then to Ben Zakai. And the other way, it's going to be quite. It's not exactly the same. It's a little bit different around the Lamed, but basically this is the same idea. It's going to Lamed and then Mitzvah Kadesh and then Palmach. So basically, this is the change of number 14. Really, just a second, please. Okay, we're talking now about line number 18. Line number 18 has a little bigger change. Basically, this line is going to take the part of number 13. Is it going to be canceled? We're canceling number 13 and we give some of his parts, some of what he did to number 13. So basically, what happens then when we talk about towards תחנה מרכזית. So today, just a second. שיעוף מפה. להיות מרוכזת. Okay, so it goes from, just a second, from Ben Zakai, it goes on Emek Refaim, and then it go up to כובשי קטמון, על עמדי מבצע קדש הפלמח, הנשיא and Jabotinsky. I'm showing you this now. This is Emek Refaim, and then רחל אימנו, and going to go up to על עמדי מבצע קדש פלמח, and then it goes נשיא Jabotinsky, and then go back to its roots on David HaMelech. On the other side, it's going to do a little different, and it's going to go through חזקיהו המלך, and then אלעזר המודעי, and then back to Ben Zakai. So this what's happening with number 18. Okay, I'm showing you with 18 there a difference, going to be a difference in מרכז העיר too, and I want you to be aware of it. Today, basically, line number 18 is going on David HaMelech, and is gone one side, on the one direction, it goes up David HaMelech and then Shlomo HaMelech and Shivtei Israel, and the other way, it goes back from Agron. But because the works that are going to be done in Merkaz Ha'ir, in city center, Shivtei Israel is going to be two ways to public transport, and therefore it's going to be in certain point it's going to go both ways on Shivtei Israel. It's not happened at the beginning because the works in Emek Refaim are going to start before the works in city center, so there's going to be a change in the route when another change in the route when the city center, the works in King George begin. Okay, and number 34. Number 34 is actually going through the eastern bypass. The eastern bypass is going through Rehov Rivka. Okay, when I'm going northbound, it's go through Rehov Rivka and then Derech Bet Lechem, and then it goes on the same it gets to the usual route on Gan HaPa'amon. But on the way back, it will still go on Emek Refaim. It's going to be not completely symmetric, this line. The southbound will be from Emek Refaim to רחל אימנו, to חזקיהו המלך אלעזר המודעי, and back to צומת אורנים. So basically the southern bypass is very close. It's very simple. The northern bypass is basically through רחוב דרך בית לחם. Okay, number 49, which goes to נווה יעקב, is going to change, and it's going not to go through עמק רפאים at all, but only through דרך בית לחם. Basically, both ways it's going to be almost symmetric. It's going to be on דרך בית לחם, מרים חשמונאי, דרך חברון, and then רבקה, and then goes to אזור תעשייה תלפיות. I didn't show you on the first map, but they're going to, actually, I think they already placed a new bus stop in דרך בית לחם, in the corner of Kremye, on the side towards Miriam Hashmonait. This is a new stop, and basically it's a new direction because today there's line number 7 that goes on Derech Bet Lechem northbound, but now it will go southbound as well. Number 77. Okay, number 77. I will explain both the bypasses. I begin with the northbound and then I go to the southbound. Then actually I will begin with the southbound because it's going to be easy. On the southbound, basically going to be like the 34. It's going to go on derech on Emek Refaim, and then in Rachel Imenu it goes right, and then to Chizkiyahu HaMelech on Elazar Modai, and then go back to its route. In normal route is regular route on Ben Zakai. So the southbound bypass is very simple. The northbound bypass is a little bit more complicated. So now I will demonstrate. From Tzomet Oranim, it goes on Emek Refaim until Rachel Imenu, and then it takes left. Then it continues on Emek Refaim, and then Kovshei Katamon, and then right to Kaftet BeNovember. Kaftet BeNovember is part of the Western bypass system. It's go all the way up Shaskin, and then in Shaskin Dovnov cross, it's going to take right. It's going to go on Dovnov, and then on the circle, and it's going to have a stop in Tzchak El-Hanan, and it goes back through the Butinsky to Keren HaYesod, to its regular route. So this is the bypass of 77. So the last line that we're talking about is the 97. The 97, the southbound bypass is the same like I just showed for the 77. The northbound is a little bit different, but very. I will show it. So it's going on Emek Refaim, and then it go left to Rachel Imenu, then Kofchei Katamon Kaftet BeNovember, and Shaskin. Unlike 77, this line continues to Marcus. It goes up Marcus, and then it goes to Rehov HaNasi, and then Ha'ari, and then it gets back to its route on Metudela. Okay, so this is line 97. So here you can see a map of all of the lines. This is a little bit complicated. We are now working on a much more simple map that we will distribute to the people through our digital platforms and printed. Basically, that's it. Elias, okay?
Thank you, Tami. I've been trying to follow the discussion on the chat. As you were talking, people were writing a lot of questions. We're asked to show. Some people have asked about the closure of streets for private traffic. So I have the map here. At least is one of the latest.
I
maybe
think,
you have
Elias,
more.
we can maybe go question by question and try to answer.
Yes, we'll do that. But most of them have answered. But I think there's maybe one or two that I didn't in the end. But I want to show just the map for the streets, because some people have asked about that, so they know which streets are closed, which are opened. Just 1 second. I'm sharing my screen. Okay, let's see, where is that? There. Okay, so we have this map here. Full screen. Okay. Now, in terms of, maybe you can help me here. In terms of the southern part of Emek Refaim, which street is open? Is it Uzia Street will be open and connect to the northbound lane of Emek Refaim. The other streets will be closed in the Greek colony. Okay, you can see it here, and this is Uzia. In the northern part, we'll have at Sfira cross Emek Refaim. I think it's at the area of the side of the pedestrian area where Emek Refaim is actually closed, but the street can cross, and that's at Sfira that will connect to Hanania. Hanania will be widened at the last part next to Klalit, and it will be able to allow traffic through to connect to Hרכבת going south. Yeah. Then on Emek Refaim, on the north part, there will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 traffic lights, and which means that the little streets will be connecting with Emek Refaim. They will not be blocked. So they will be able, people will be able to, as they come down Emek Refaim, they'll be able to turn left or come out from the small streets, and that's Mil Zolam, come out and connect to Amelit. Yeah, go into Amelit. What else? There was another question last night when we had the Hebrew speaking group, Tami. Maybe you can answer this question. When the street is closed on one side or the other, Emek Refaim, will these streets also be open as in the plan at the end, or some of them will be blocked and some of them will be open? Do you know?
I don't really understand the question, Elias. Can you please explain to me?
Yes, at the time of the work, when one side of Emek Refaim is blocked for work, digging and infrastructure and everything, and one side is open, will there be crossings on the
Yeah, I see. When you mean when they work on the side that is more adjacent to the crossing streets, will they have an access? Actually,
exactly.
I can't say for sure. I don't know about blocks. Maybe there will be some temporary, very small ones while they're working on junctions. But basically, they will try to work on junctions during evening times. Or so, yeah, there will be blocks, but I don't think they're going to be very long ones. Not not for a long while. Again, I don't want to promise this because this is something really to have to do with the temporary traffic arrangements that I'm not really familiar with. But I think that from my knowledge, I don't think it's going to be blocked for a while.
Okay. I assume that there will be more detailed plans about each section, right? For when it's closed, what will be open and what will be closed, that we can also, make available so people can see near the streets what will be closed.
Elias, I see some questions. It's very quick, but one thing I just want to I just forgot the word. Emphasize. Yes, the way for pedestrians is going to be open during all of the works. Maybe there will be a temporary detours, but basically people will be able to walk through Emek Refaim all during all the works. So that should be very clear to everybody. Secondly, there are going to be a traffic, one-way traffic during both during the works and in the permanent stage. So always there will be access to cars and to people. Obviously, the access for cars will be very limited, and it's very important to understand that basically because of these traffic arrangements, a lot of traffic will be removed from Emek Refaim, because today Emek Refaim is an axis for passing traffic, a traffic that is not directed to the area of Moshava or Emek Refaim, but it's just some kind of a north-south or artery road that people are going from Katamonim to Merkaz Ha'ir, etc. So this kind of movement will not be easy for cars. So they will try to find other ways, which means that the volume of traffic on Emek Refaim during the works and in the future will be much lower than what it is today. And this is very important to understand. This is part of the rationale of why to do it only one direction, and that it goes both ways on the opposite ways to Chelimenu.
Okay, Tami, here there are some questions that and most of the questions I've answered, but let's see for the ones that are in the end. Okay. What happened to 88? I answered that line 88 is not connected to this plan. Line 90, I think line 90 also is not connected, right?
No, it's not connected. It's not going to be impacted by this.
Right. Going to Mamila Shopping Center.
18,
I think
18
line
obviously
18
can do that.
Yeah, 18 will continue to do that, exactly.
Yeah.
Tzomet Pat.
Tzomet Pat 77, 77 going to Tzomet Pat.
Okay. Okay, and I'm writing 18 to Mamila. Okay. 2222. Okay, if all the Move It and Google Maps and all and Waze, they will be updated, correct?
Yeah. Whenever all the changes in the buses are going to be coded into the license, the national license system, and whenever it is in the license system of the Ministry of Transport, it is broadcasted to all of the apps. So basically, all of the apps are going to be updated by with the new routes of the buses and the changes.
To Adar, there's a question about the Adar Shopping Center. I understand it's 97, but we'll get there.
Well, what did you say?
97, right?
97 going to?
Adar, to Talpiot, to the Adar Shopping Center.
97, yes. 97 goes there. And 34. 34 goes there. And basically those two lines.
Okay.
97, I think the 97 goes on Rivka, so it doesn't get exactly to Adar Mall, but 34 does.
Okay. Asher is being opened permanently?
Yes, it's not connected to this section of works. It's connected to the Tzomet Oranim section, but yes, when the Tzomet Oranim section begins, Asher is going to be opened and have an access only to Rehov HaRakevet.
Okay. The back in Ginot will share this recording. Yes, we'll share this recording. How long will the works take? When they will start and end?
Okay, let's talk about the beginning of the works. So as you said in the beginning, the works are about to begin somewhere in July, in the beginning of July. I can't say for now for sure the exact date, but I guess we will be able to say it very shortly. In few days we will be. I just saw a little question from somebody about Yochananov. I see how to get from Yochananov to Emek Refaim.
Wait.
The minibus is going to...
Tell me 1 second about the works. in total, it's about 3.5 years for the infra one, or is it 3.5 years for the whole thing?
No, it's not 3.5 years for the whole thing. The whole thing is about 4 years or a little bit more than 4 years, but there is a huge difference between the first part, the infra infra one, which is the utilities relocation infrastructures. This is a more complicated part of the work. Basically, after it's finished, the second part, which is laying the tracks and all the very shallow utilities and infrastructure of the train itself, is much easier. It's already on the track that been removed, that been prepared to work on. So its impact on the citizens, on the residents, is much lower than the first part.
Okay, you started the other question about Yohananov.
Yeah, I just saw it like popping. So I said that basically we canceled Kav 13, but this part between Talpiot, this area of Talpiot, Yohananov, and its area of Chenyon Talpiot, this is the area, Baram there. And Yossi Ben Yoezer will be served by the minibus. I didn't show it because it's not exactly the part that I wanted to show, but yes, the minibus is going to give this area as well.
Rehov did this, Simtat did this. It will be two-way in the end, or just one way because it's narrow.
I don't remember. This is the little alley that goes from that goes to Emek. This is a very narrow alley. Am I right? That goes
Yeah.
today. It goes only from the area of, I don't remember the name. Maybe it's did himself or the Smuts or whatever. But I don't think it's going to be open. I think it's going to be closed. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about this.
Also, there was a question about Masaryk.
What's the question?
Do you see that one? Wait, I'll ask Yochai to explain this because I don't see, I can't find the question.
אוקיי,
Yochai, what's the question about Masaryk?
אני אעשה לכם את זה בעברית ואתם תתרגמו את זה לטורקית. מה שאני מבקש, אתה הסברת על הכניסה לחנניה של קופת חולים וכולי. התנועה מצפון, גן הפעמון, לכיוון דרום, שזה דרום לא צפון, בכניסה ימינה הסברת, לא זוכר את הרחוב איך שפעם קראו לדואר, שמאלה זה למסריק, ומסריק גרים הרבה מאוד תושבים, גם יש שם חנייה, ומעבר לזה יש מכללה למינהל, ודרומה יש את הבלוק החדש, ויש תושבים שגרים. עכשיו, מסריק פחות או יותר אחרי הבלוק שלנו, או מה שנקרא המכללה למינהל, הופך להיות דרך הרכבת. ודרך הרכבת, תמי, זה גם בצד של בקה במזרח, וגם בצד של גינות העיר במערב. וכאשר הסברתם ששאטלים יעברו מאזור, יהיו שאטלים מדרום לצפון, זה על צד בקה. זה לא על הצד של מסריק הרכבת. וכדאי שזה יהיה מובן, כי היה לי גם שיחה עם אבי חי מהמינהל על הנושא, לפחות בוואטסאפים. אנא, בקצר, כניסה למסריק תהיה אפשרית, גרים הרבה מאוד תושבים במסריק, עד המכללה למינהל פלוס בלוק אחד.
כניסה למסריק למה? לרכב פרטי?
לגור, בטח, בוודאי.
כן, כן, ברור שיש כניסה, אנחנו לא ביטלנו את הכניסה למסריק.
אבל לא דיברתם עליה.
לא, אבל הוא מתכוון, הוא מתכוון, he means from the side of the park, and not from the side of עמק רפאים.
כן מתכוון, מעמק רפאים, אתה נוסע מגן הפעמון דרומה, לכיוון רחל אימנו, מגיע למסריק, האם תוכל להיכנס שמאלה?
כן. Okay, so I will translate the question, I will just brief it and translate it.
תמי עוד דבר, רגע, דרומה, ואז יש איפה היציאה, בעזריה, איפה שכל הסוחרים, או בריש לקיש בפנייה לכיוון אורנים.
Okay, so basically what Yochai asked is it going to be allowed to go on Masaryk? And the question is yes. Obviously, if you come from Tzomet Aranim, you won't be able to get to Masaryk because you can't go after Rachel Imenu. But if you come from the northern side, southbound, so yes, you can come from the direction of Atachana and then to go left on Masaryk and then to go all the way on the רכבת. Right now, you can go either to Rehov Azaria to exit either in Rehov Azaria or in Rehov Resh Lakish, but we've been asked to think about maybe change a little bit there because of the problem in Rehov Azaria. I don't know, but right now both ways are going to be open.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, I'm answering questions simply. Okay. Did this, okay, we answered that. What about the shops on Emek Refaim? We answered that. The shops will continue functioning. Some shops had to close because because of appropriations. The winter closure was canceled, so they didn't have the size to function anymore, and they decided to close. Some businesses will be affected.
I just want to say something about it, Elias. What happened that people should know that when we expropriated the areas in the nechasim in the stores, it was mostly plishot. How do you say plisha? It wasn't a legal area. They basically were on the sidewalks. And sometimes you can't see it, but basically some of the winter closures were actually on the pedestrian area. So now we kind of amended the very distorted thing that happened many years ago and just went on and on. And but yes, that happened, and some of the businesses, because most of their area was on the public side, they will not be able to operate their business because it will be tiny. So yes, they will have to close. But other than that, we don't block any access to any shop. And as I said, pedestrian movement will be during all the works will be allowed, and there shouldn't be a problem.
Okay. We're posting the maps. I put the links to the maps and the page online with all the maps and all the plans and all the decisions, etc. So you can find it
One
there.
more thing that I want to say, Elias.
Yes.
It's very important for me. We know that the area of Emek Refaim is a lot of the residents are English speakers, and therefore, when before we start the works, there are going to be some stewards in the stops. They will hand out like little brochures. So we're going to have a brochure in English as well with all the information and all the maps and everything. So first of all, this will be available to all the English speakers. That's the first thing. Second thing, we are going to have a mini site in the municipality internet site that's going to have all the information again in English. It's going to be in English, in Hebrew, and I think in maybe in French as well. I'm not sure about French, but for sure we're going to have English. So I think it will be very, very convenient to all the English speakers to see all the maps and everything accessible for them in English. And obviously, if there will be other questions after, obviously we will be able to answer them. But I think it will be very clear when you see all our publications.
Okay. I'm answering questions. There are still more coming. There was a question here about a central bus station. Which bus, except for 18, which other bus will go? 18 will go still, right?
Oh, what question? What?
Which other bus will go to Tachana Merkazit?
97 is going to תחנה מרכזית as well.
Okay, and 18, right?
18 going to תחנה מרכזית, yes.
Yeah. Okay. How do we get to Ben Yehuda city center? Light rail. And now will be not 18. Which bus will go to downtown? 34?
34 is going downtown, and 77 is going downtown.
Okay. Okay. Well, we done when we go by the light rail. What about Yohananov? You answered. What about Masaryk? We answered. King George work begins. Do we know when the work in King George will begin?
Not really, but it's not going to take a long while until it will start. Actually, all the works are going to begin in the coming months, so it's not a matter of a long period. It's going to be a few months ahead from now.
Okay. Excuse me, behind schedule. Okay. In the end, we're on the traffic lane for train alongside the light will show back and forth. Yes. Okay. So yes. Yes. One line train. There will be one line for train and one for traffic. Okay.
I think again I see a question about deeds. I just want to explain what I said. According to my knowledge, today the entrance to deeds is from Smuts. Am I right? Elias, I think I'm right.
Yes, I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So I think what's going to happen, that it's going to be like, so the entrance is going to be the same. I think that the exit from the street will not be directly to Emek Refaim from this little alley like now, but I think it's going to be from the adjacent street. I don't remember the name. It's Zola or Woodwood or whatever. So like now, it's going to be the same. We're not making changes in this little section.
Tami, will there be a bus stop on Rubin? Or is
What?
it the minibus that stops in that area?
There's on Gretz, there's a stop, not on Robin.
Okay.
Robin, there will be no stop.
Okay. Okay. Well, be this okay. Masaryk okay. What bus
One
will
thing
replace
again
the
that I see a question, Elias, that I want to address. The traffic arrangements on Emek Refaim are going to be the same during the construction area and while the light rail is running, meaning always there will always be one lane for private cars, but it's going to be one direction as we explained. It's going to be just the same. In this respect, it will not change afterwards.
Will the buses go all the way down Hildesheimer to Esther Malka? Esther Malka? No, probably Rachel Menu is the meaning.
No, it's not going all the way Hildesheimer to Rachel Imenu. It's going to Hildesheimer and then left on Atzfira, and then right to Rachel Imenu. And the reason why we do it is first of all because the last section of Hildesheimer is very narrow, so we can't go through. But mostly, more importantly, we could go through route, but we didn't want, but because we in the beginning of Rachel Imenu, there are going to be two stations, one towards north and one towards south. And this will be basically the most important bus stops on Emek Refaim, and we want the minibus to stop there. So this is the reason why we go on Tzfira and then back on Emek Refaim and then on Rachel Imenu. It's a very, very important pair of stops. One of them will go to the southern bypass and one of them to the northern bypass.
there's a question about if a bus will go to Amatzia towards Emek Refaim or to Chizkiyahu Melech or through Chizkiyahu Melech towards Emek Refaim. Amatzia, no.
First of all, there is going to be no bus on Amatzia. We don't have any plan of bus in Amatzia. The bus on Chizkiyahu Melech is going to be from Rachel Imenu to Chizkiyahu Melech and then to Elazar Amodai. This will be the direction. This is a little small area. There on the other side of Chizkiyahu Melech, number 18 will go. It's 18. Yeah, it's 18 that it goes. No, yes, I think it's 18 that goes there and then go to Rachel Imenu and then Kovshei Katamon. So there will be service there in this little section of Chizkiyahu Melech between Bet Elisheva and Rachel Imenu.
Okay, will the train go after it gets? Okay, the train after it leaves Emek Refaim southbound to Talpiot.
Okay. We didn't show. Actually, we really were very focused on the changes. We didn't show the big picture, and I don't have a. Just a second. Maybe answer some question, Elias, and I will start. I will find the presentation that I'll show the bigger picture. Okay, just a second.
Okay, I'm still answering questions. Which hub will be closing? We don't know exactly. We don't have a picture on that. It's really up to the businesses to decide whether they stay, whether they replace themselves. Some shops, some dining areas, some dining businesses will have a food truck on the park, on the Mesilah Park, and that was a project that was done by the businesses department in the municipality, trying to support the businesses that will be affected, mostly people, restaurants and cafes, etc. So they will have a food truck, and people will be able to sit in the food truck and in the park instead of sitting in Emek Refaim, where it will be very likely more noisy and more dusty because of the works.
Elias,
Southbound, the train
please allow me.
will go to Talpiot. Yes.
Please allow me to share. I will share just a second. I want to explain about the line. We didn't do it because we wanted to be very focused, but since you asked, I will show. Basically, the blue line, we call it the blue line network. We're talking about the light blue. This is the light blue is the one that goes through Emek Refaim. It begins in Malcha. It goes from Malcha on Rehov, just on Rehov Pat, and then after Rehov Pat, it goes up in Rehov. Today it's closed, but it's called Bendosa. It goes up to Aparsa, just nearby Rami Levi. Okay, and then it goes all the way up Aparsa until Pierre Koenig, and then it goes left on Pierre Koenig, Tzomet Oranim. On Tzomet Oranim, which is here, we're going on Emek Refaim. And then basically in Emek Refaim, the route is just like the dark blue is going to go through Rehov David HaMelech in the area of Gan HaPamon, and then Keren HaYesod, King George. In King George, there's going to be a pedestrian mall from Ben Yehuda to Aneviim, and then the line is going underground. Basically, it's supposed to continue until Mount Scopus. In the first part, basically the line will be opened in two sections. The southern part of all this network is going to be opened basically something like 2029, something like that, until Merkaz Ha'ir, until Rehov King George. Okay, both lines, the light blue and the blue, are going to work until something like here, I would say, something like here. This is we call it PTO Echad. So this is the first step, and then after the northern side will be finished, we're going to go all the way. So this is about the light blue. If I show you already this map, I will explain about the other lines. the dark blue is going from Gilo and then Gilo הגננת צביה I mean המרגלית צביה ויצחק הגננת and then רוזמרין. It's go up all the way up דרך חברון. It's going to get into מתחם התחנה, just it's crossing the מתחם התחנה, they already started to work there, and then it goes, as I explained to you, from there to דוד המלך next to גן הפעמון, and then קרן היסוד, King George, and it's going to get into the tunnel around, I would say Strauss. This is the southern portal of the tunnel, and it's going underground until Hartom, until Har Chotzvim, and then it goes up to Ramot, the end of Ramot. This is the dark blue line. There's another line. It's called the purple line, which goes basically like the red line, like the existing line from Adassa and Karam to the Mifletzet to Rehov Tahon, and then it goes Rehov here. Show you second Rehov Tahon, Rehov Golom, and then goes down under Malcha. There's a tunnel, and then it goes like the blue in Malcha near Teddy and Arena and Tennis Center. But this one is going on Ben Zakai and Yehuda Anasi. It goes to Pierre Koenig and then at Nufa, and it's supposed sometime to get to in the future. It's not proved yet, but the future is supposed to go to Armon Nativ. So this is what we call the blue network. Okay, the blue lines. So just to show you the bigger picture of what is going to happen.
Thank you. Please answer the chat about Hildesheimer. We answered it. So for people writing again the same questions, I would appreciate that you look back to see the answer to your question. Don't write 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 times the same question, please.
Elias, do we have another questions that we need to answer?
They're constantly repeating themselves. Ammunition Hill. Will a bus go to Ammunition Hill? Givat Achmoshet?
Ammunition Hill. Just I need to think. Basically, 34 is going not far from there. I don't think it goes through Ammunition Hill, but it goes to the French Hill. So it's not getting exactly to Ammunition Hill, but it's not so far. I don't think that there's a line directly to Ammunition Hill. When the light rail will operate, the light blue line is going from Emek Refaim to Ammunition Hill, actually. So, but it will take a while, but not buses, only the light rail.
There will be changes. There's a question about if 34 and 77 change when King George will begin. And the answer is yes, there will be changes, but there will be...
there will be changes, and we will announce about them separately.
Yeah, they will be announced. Yeah, of course. Okay. Did this. Okay, it's going back again and again. Kikar Shabbat, instead of using 13, Kikar Shabbat?
This is a good question. This is a good question, because Kikar Shabbat, basically, we're not going to have a direct... basically, 77 goes to Givat to Kikar Shabbat. 13 used to go to Givat to Kikar Shabbat through Yeshayahu, so it will not exist anymore. But Kikar Shabbat itself, 77 goes through there.
77. Okay.
Yeah, 77 goes to Kikar Shabbat. It goes to Cheskel.
Okay, there's a question about if...
and basically, if I think about it, 34 as well.
34?
I'm not an expert in the lines, but I'm doing my best.
They're are opening on Harakevet every the businesses on Harakevet, they're not supposed to be permanent. They are supposed to be temporary. And so they are supposed to close once the works are finished. Okay, the answer. Where the stops 34, where the Emek Refaim replacing Uzia at Tfira, Lloyd George. The stops of 34 and 77.
What is the question, Elias?
Okay, where are the stops for 34 and 77 when Emek Refaim works start? For
Okay,
Uzia, Tfira, Lloyd George.
so basically, it depends on which side. When the work begin and the street is going to be one direction, so all the stops from the one in next to Mafe Neeman and the one next to Lloyd George, both of them are going to be cancelled because both of them are going north in the area where the direction is only south. So the stop that is going to take 34 and 77 northbound is going to be on Rachel Imenu, or there will be the one in yes, Rachel Imenu. Basically, this is the stop that replaces it for 34 and 77. And when we talk about the south, from the southbound, so the stop next to, I don't remember the name of the street, not far from Reish Lakish, I don't remember, the southbound stop is going to be cancelled. And basically, the lines are going to stop in Elazar Modei. It's very nearby because you can just cross Reish Lakish and get to Elazar Modei, but this stop will be cancelled as well. The number 15 has no change and there's no impact on number 15. It still goes the same route, the same way, no changes. So don't worry, we don't touch number 15. Move it will be accurate. We already said it and I'll say it once again. All the apps are going to be updated because they're based on the database of the MOT, the Ministry of Transport, which is going to be updated. So all the apps are going to be updated with all the changes.
Wait, bus 15 doesn't change, right?
No, it doesn't change. No changes in bus 15.
Yes, we answered that, so it's coming back again.
Yes.
And Hildesheimer,
People really like bus 15. I understand why, and Baruch Hashem, we don't have to touch it.
About Hildesheimer, there's a question. There are questions. This is an issue that we still see that it's not closed. At the moment, there's a bus stop on Hildesheimer. We understand the difficulty and the fact that the street has no sidewalks, that it's not appropriate for people and children and older people to move there, especially at the narrow area of it. So we're trying to actually move the minibus route to Klein, which is a more appropriate street with sidewalks and has a smaller slope. It's not so simple, but we're trying to do that, and it's I think we'll probably see a change in the near future. We understand the problematics of it. We understand the difficulty of Hildesheimer. We weren't in agreement with that from the very beginning. There are some considerations from the planners, but and yesterday a lot of people also brought this issue. And we hope that all this will bring a different decision. So
I
we're
want to
waiting
add
on
something
that.
about Hildesheimer, if you allow me, Elias.
Yes, yes.
We think that Hildesheimer is a good place to go for the minibus. We think it's obviously it's a very narrow street, and obviously the sidewalks are not. They're very narrow wherever they are. It's not the only place where we have minibus in this kind of street. Basically, we have a very similar thing in the old city with a few lines that goes through the Patriarcha Armeni Street, which has no sidewalks, very narrow. And basically, it's very slow. The minibus is going to drive very slowly. However, I already actually I really I responded to your email today, Elias. If the Minhal Kehilati insists on Rehov Klein instead of Rehov Hildesheimer, we will do we will examine it Obviously, we know that it will cause cancellations of parking spaces, but we will promote it with the we'll promote the planning. I can't promise that that it's feasible, but we will plan it, and it won't be the beginning. At the beginning, the minibus will go through Ildesheimer, but at the same time, we will try to promote Klein. As far as I concern, Elias, your mail for us today is some kind of a written request for that. So I'm using it as a written request. Okay, that's what we asked you. So.
Yesterday we had a very clear message from the residents, and we need to honor this request, and we need to really check it.
No problem. We will promote this examination.
Thank you. Construction on Ben Zakkai. Ben Zakkai is the purple route, purple
yeah,
line.
It's purple, and we don't know when it begins. It's not in the coming few months. It will take more time.
Yes. Will traffic be able to cross over Emek Refaim from Elazar Modai and Pierre Canning while the building takes place? Cross over Emek Refaim from Elazar Modai? Yes, of course.
Yeah, no. Today there's no left from Elazar Modai to Emek Refaim. It's banned. You cannot turn from Elazar Modai to Emek Refaim, and it will be the same. We're not going to allow it. Yeah. But obviously, if you come from Pierre Canning, you can get into Emek Refaim from Tomatranim, yes, but not directly from Elazar Modai. If you want to do this direction, you should go on Yoshua bin Nun, get to Ben Zakkai, and then get to Emek Refaim. You cannot do the left, just like today.
Okay. Where the contact people in case there are more questions. Okay, that's a very good question.
What's the question?
The question is, who is the contact person and their numbers in case there are more questions. And here I would like to say that the Ginot Ha'ir will be bringing a new person, a new position to actually handle exactly these questions that coming in from the residents, from the neighborhood. It's called Projector, and this position will be actually it's a part-time, it's a half misra, it's a half employment position. The other half will go to the other parts of the blue line. So there will be a person, there will be an address for you to ask questions. In the meantime, you can address them to Ginot Ha'ir. And then, of course, they will be transferred to the person, and that person will take care of them. So we hope
Elias,
that in the coming days, that person will be existing.
Elias, I'm sorry, but I need to leave. So what I suggest, I don't know how long we're going to stay, but if there are questions that you don't know, you can either text me or you can send a mail with all the questions, and I will answer them, and we can publish them later. But I'm sorry, but I just got to know about this meeting last week, and it's a little bit problematic for me to stay. Okay?
Thank you, Tami.
Thank you very much, Elias. And I just want to say that to all the people here, that Elias and Chava are excellent representatives. They're really doing the best. And I think this meeting today is excellent. I see the number of participants. It's very, very impressive. I have to admit that I'm a little bit jealous. When we do our Shitufei Tzibur, we never have this kind of numbers. And I think it's very impressive, and I think it's a very, very important thing that you did for your community. So really, I really appreciate your work, and thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Tami, for joining us and for the information that you shared.
Sure. Bye. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Shabbat Shalom. Okay. So you're welcome to write to us, to Ginot Air, and then we'll make sure to get the message across. If you have any more questions, we are here. We won't leave, and we're available for any other information you need. And of course, we will make sure that more information gets to you with flyers, brochures, and posters on the street. And we'll also have a big LED screen that will be placed outside the outside Bet Yudit on the street. So there's more information will become available in real time, and we hope that there will be less and less questions as we go along. Thank you all for joining.
Recording
Chava,
stopped.
do you want to say something before we?
Oh, thank you. I wanted to join you a while ago. I just would like to say that it's a lot of information. It's too much to take in, and especially it's not final. And we are working now, we're beginning a new chapter in our work, which is just information. We are going to prepare large maps that will be hopefully hung on the streets and distributed in homes and brochures and in any possible way to distribute all this information. And as Elias said, we were hoping to get a new person who'll handle the center of information and will be the address for all questions and remarks. And we will, as I said, really appreciate every thought, every idea that you have. Please write to us and we'll use it as material in our dealings with the city. Thank you.
Thank you all. Good night. Shabbat Shalom.
Bye.